It's the Playhouse Podcast with Kat and JJ.
Believe it. I missed everything.
Miss the show?
What am I going to do?
Check out the Daily Podcast.
Hey, it's our first podcast of 2026, and since everybody's on the backside of a whole bunch of benders, we thought, let's explore what you've left in an Uber. We saw some really interesting things pop through, but then some very expensive ones as well. So if you've left something very, very important behind in an Uber, you're not alone, and we'll make you feel a little bit better about yourself in a couple of seconds. Let's go. As I don't know, if you're like a lot of us, you've already started thinking about the holidays you have planned coming, and maybe the next time you're going to get some time off. We were having a couple of cocktails with our neighbors, and we decided that we're going to make up our own holiday.
Like Festivus?
Yeah,
Okay.
a little bit like that. We're going to call it, we're going to call it Frost Fest, because it's going to happen in a few weeks in January, middle of January. And we're going to get together, and my neighbor Kim and I are each going to, Kim, he's not Asian or a lesbian,
Yep.
just a dude, just a regular dude. And we're each going to cook ribs.
Cool.
And the wives are going to put together a bunch of sides. And we're going to get a bunch of people together, and we're going to basically have a big holiday that we made, and we're, crossing the date off the calendar.
Nice.
And so we're going to do that. Now, I don't know how this led to something else, but Tara, my neighbor, her brother is a doctor at the Mayo.
Okay.
And she started talking about stuff he's told her that people have come in with that was up the wrong spot.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh my God, when I did my clinicals for my EMT class, we had a guy that had a Matchbox car up there, couldn't get it out. A guy that had a thermos top, like you drink coffee out of your thermos top, up there.
People don't normally surprise me. I'm not taken aback often, unless we do topics like this, and we have local nurses that call like after a full moon night. They're like, you won't believe it.
But the
what you can
excuse
fit up
is
there.
always, I fell in the shower.
Yeah.
I'm like, you fell in the shower with a thermos in your shower? You know what I mean? Like, but
You
you
should
can't
have seen
say
the
that
other
because
guy.
you're just trying to get it. And then as soon as I say this, I ran across the funniest items that we as a society got stuck up our butts this year.
Oh, okay. Oh my God. We have not done that challenge yet.
Well, wait, what challenge are we doing? I don't
Haven't you
remember
seen that video?
agreeing to the. Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking
where
about.
it's like things I've stuck up my butt, nothing.
And then
And
somebody
then,
describes what's in their living room, right? So here are my favorites of things that that people have, Americans, got stuck inside themselves in 2025. A highlighter.
easy.
A baseball.
Okay. That one would need some explaining, I think.
The guy said, quote, and this is on record, I wanted to see what it felt like.
But I love the honesty. Normally people are like, oh, I was running and I tripped and I fell feet down and a Matchbox car
I've
went up
been
there.
at like the Science Museum, and I'm like, ooh, what does it feel like to pet a stingray?
Yeah.
Never have I once in my entire life been like, oh,
Wonder if I can fit
a
that
bucket of
stingray up
baseballs.
there.
I wonder what
Yeah.
that feels like. Nails and screws that
That's
had to
just
be removed
irresponsible.
from a man's sphincter. A shampoo bottle. This guy claimed she slipped in the shower. I'm telling you, that is the go-to answer. I slipped in the shower. That shampoo bottle got up my butt.
So where are shampoo bottles? In the shower. But like canisters that you bring to work, like at a construction site, those aren't in the shower. So
The number one most favorite one voted on by people was a full turkey baster.
easy.
Not
That back
easy.
with the highlighter,
Not
for sure.
easy.
I can understand.
You've at one point in your life been like, I wonder what that feels like to get
Not
an
me.
entire turkey baster up my butt.
People are wild. Don't you know that by now?
I know some people are.
Everybody is freaky in a weird way. It is just, though, it boils down to how far you're going to
So
take
we
it.
want to know what's the weirdest thing you've ever said.
No.
Listen, if you ever had anything a little bit different up there and you wanted to share, I'm wide open for you. We're friends. I promise I won't say your name, but I would just like to know the oddest thing.
Bingo! How fun!
Last week, someone lost an eye at bingo.
Bingo what bingo?
All right, who's going to get the first bingo of 26? Oh my gosh, we're about to find out. Is Travis, who's on line one, somebody listening who?
Who has bad blood with an ex's family? So much so that you would have to hide in a clothing rack to avoid them.
This is crazy.
I'm hiding in the clothes at the store because I just saw my ex and his mother. I am not mentally stable enough for this interaction. Mother is going to ask me 101 questions, but I'm not prepared with enough lies to tell her. I made it out of the store. I made it out of the store.
Do nervous people make you nervous?
Nervous people make me laugh.
Their anxiety that they put out it really affects me. I just want to shake them and say, don't worry about it.
It's going to be okay.
It's going to be okay.
I'm on the hunt this morning for anyone listening who got hurt over the holidays. Like maybe you were in the ER. Those are some crazy stories because it's never, ever planned. Travis, good morning. How are you, bud?
Morning. I'm good. How are you?
Good. Which one do you fit? You get the first bingo of the year.
JJ is going to be the winner. I'm always the favorite.
Oh, no.
So why'd you end up hurt over the holidays? What happened, bro?
So it was actually my nephew. We took the kids to the trampoline park, and my brother ended up jumping too close to his 2-year-old son and launched him at too high. When he came down, he broke his tibia in his left leg right below the knee. 2-year-old. Yeah.
The 2-year-old did that? Got a broken tibia?
The 2-year-old broke his tibia in his left leg. Yeah.
God.
This wasn't a compound, was it? It wasn't sticking out.
No, it wasn't graphic. It wasn't graphic, but certainly having a 2-year-old with broken tibia for 2 months is not going to be fun.
Yeah, right.
Have you ever seen those videos of like dads with their newborns and they're so just gentle and doing, skin to skin?
Then mom leaves.
And then it's like 4 months later and they're like balancing them on their hand. And, I think men think their kids are invincible. But I got to stick up for this trampoline place because I've been there and there are videos that are running constantly of the right way to bounce there. So
what's the protocol then for a broken tibia on a 2-year-old? You just cast that up and you just got to keep them off it for a while?
Yeah, and we were in South Dakota when this happened. And my brother lives in a rural area, but yes, to answer your question, they put him in a cast. And they've got to see a pediatric or orthopedic, like the whole thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're going to do surgery. There's not an outcome.
Yeah, because that's still a growth stage, right? I mean, you got to get that right because otherwise he's going to grow all, lopsided.
Right. And luckily it didn't go through any growth plate or anything like that. But still, it's a long road ahead of him for a while.
And to happen out of town, which is even worse.
Hey, Travis, thanks for chiming in, man. You get the first bingo of the year. We appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, have a
Take
good
care.
year.
Let's do a double bingo this morning. Jessica's been waiting patiently. How you feeling?
Good. How are you?
Good. Which one do you fit?
I fit Cat.
Okay, so what happened to have the ex's family just absolutely not like you? Or is it the other way around?
No, it's the opposite around. I don't like them.
Okay. So
Why?
running into them
Why?
would be the
Why?
worst. What are the odds of you running into them, by the way?
Not too likely because they moved out of that town
Yeah, okay.
now, so I'm not really too involved with that area, but I'd say she's more lucky I don't bump into her.
Oh, dang.
I know stuff. Well, it's my ex's sister-in-law, and
okay.
she has done things that I think are very egregious, and I think all of society would agree is just disgusting, and she got away with it.
Why don't you tell us?
That's what's
No.
disgusting.
I don't want any subpoenas.
I want to know. Like, don't
That's
use
what-
any
that's what
specific
I'm
names
saying.
or anything.
It has to do with little kids, and she's an adult. That's all I got to say.
All right.
This
Yeah.
is what I
That's
didn't
all
want to
you
know.
need to say.
Jeez.
Yep,
All right.
that's all I'm saying. I'm
Now-
going to be vague. That's why I'm like,
Let's say you make a Target run today and you run into her. Are you blowing it up?
sometimes I'll yell PDF file at her or something like that, but that's about it.
Dang.
Jessica got no chill.
You know what? There are certain instances where people get themselves into their own stuff, and sometimes they deserve what comes back at them, I think.
And you're absolutely sure
Right?
that
She
this is
got
the
away
case.
with that. So I'm like,
Whoa, hey, watch your mouth, watch your
every
mouth.
time you bump
Yeah.
into me.
I know. I appreciate your passion for this, and I fully share it. But there's certain
Sorry.
words we can't say on the radio, so now it's going to be weird for a
know.
little while. But thank you for calling. I hope you have a great morning and you don't run into her.
Just to let you know, I didn't ask for your password, so you don't have to text your password.
You guys
to
are a
your
little too
Wi-Fi.
trusting.
Yes, you are. I just want the handle, like what your Wi-Fi name is. Maybe you made something really funny because if somebody like lives next door and they are cheap and don't want to pay for it, you want to give them a chuckle. But they say today is the day that you want to either change the Wi-Fi name and password or one or the other, because it's just nice to keep, those updated and refreshed.
Morning to Brittany, who texted in, mine is too fly for Wi-Fi.
Oh,
I
that's
like that.
funny, Brittany. I like that one.
Mine used to be when we lived in town, it was FBI surveillance van. I always like that because anybody would drive by or go through our cul-de-sac could see that pop up. But right now, mine is Schrute Farms.
Oh, that's funny.
And then we have like a repeater that goes out to our shed, and it's called Moe's Farm.
Yeah.
And so I just use the office.
Ours
stuff.
is our last name.
Stupid.
I got to get to it today. We'll make it something funny. But Pretty Fly for a Wi-Fi was another one. And then Girls Gone Wireless. Hot Singles in Your Area.
Hot Singles in Your Area.
Get Off My Land.
That's good. It's supposed to be land.
Yeah.
Land.
And then Not the Bat Cave were some of the funny ones that were sent in. So what is yours? Would love to read it
Why do
off.
we have to change the password today?
They just said one or the other. It's just, this is the time when those bad guys out there are working tirelessly because credit cards are coming through, more activity. And so they just said today is the day. So whether that's just a reminder.
I'm not asking for your password, but is it tough to handle? I mean, is your password easy? Yeah.
No.
For your Wi-Fi, it's pretty easy?
Yeah. Well, no. I mean, it's something that is meaningful to our family.
Yeah, but like,
no numbers, no symbols or anything like
to
that.
at least have numbers and symbols and everything.
See, that's what a bad guy will try. They'll try to put some numbers in.
Looking for the most creative Wi-Fi names. I know mine's pretty generic with Schrute Farms, but do you have a really, really good one? What?
Victoria's. It hurts. HERTZ when I pee.
Today apparently is the day you're supposed to change your Wi-Fi either name or password.
Or both.
Or both.
Yeah.
It sounds like a lot of heavy lifting.
Or change your passwords, period, for your bank accounts, whatever. Just know that this next year, maybe the bad guys out there that want all your info and all your money won't get it. So Arrow Lover was Marjorie's. And that is her Wi-Fi name. And Marjorie does that because she's our listener that is obsessed with Aerosmith. And I believe she has a tattoo, right, of Aerosmith.
Like the wings?
Yeah, something like that.
That'd be kind of cool.
And then Brandon said Mr. Wiggles. That would keep people wondering. 1339 said, got theirs from 22 Jump Street. It's called Wi-Fi. Why? The question, PHY, Wi-Fi. So what creative name have you come up with? I wanted Courtney to call. Hers was Wi-Fi Moochers. So call it like you see it, I
did,
guess.
When I'm trying to remember, where were we? And I saw this, but one of them was I'm stealing your Wi-Fi is what it was called.
Yeah.
Like they had just a repeater network and somebody had left theirs open. I've lived next to people that haven't had a password on their Wi-Fi before. Our old house, we lived in this little cul-de-sac, and there was like 3 or 4 people that had Wi-Fi that was just wide open.
Yeah, and nobody chipped in? Yeah. Nobody ran over a 20 or anything?
No, but I don't think it we all had our own.
Yeah.
But I could get I'd be in my driveway and it would pull up on my phone like ours and then a whole bunch of other people's and they weren't locked.
Probably older people that forgot.
They just plugged it in and they didn't want to hassle with the Wi-Fi. They thought they were going to have to plug in the password every time.
Urban, did you get the Wi-Fi up? I love this one. Bill Y, the Science Fi.
That was good.
All right, so last night and you can start texting right now. Sometimes we do that. Send us a photo and we can guess like how old you are. Do you think people would get your age accurate?
Pretty much.
If you sent a photo of yourself?
You know what's the worst is I have a Whoop strap and it says I'm 5 years older than I am.
What's a what? What do you think?
So it's the same as an Oura Ring basically.
Yeah.
And it tells you like I was pretty much at my age until the break hit.
Uh-huh.
And then I got so lazy over the break. Like we were gone for almost 2 weeks.
It ages you?
Well, it tells you what your like biological age based on your sleep, your cardiovascular, stuff like that. And I put on like an extra.
Let me put it on real quick.
Well, it needs like a couple of weeks. You have to wear it. It doesn't know where to do that.
You are 75.
All of a sudden, I looked at it this morning and it was like 5 years older. And I'm like, I got to get my big ass up and moving, man.
No doubt.
I needed to get back to work.
I was feeling that way too. So if you want to text a picture, let's see if we can get your age right. Because I was watching the Mysteries of Whatever, and it was Amelia Earhart last night. I thought she was in her 50s.
Oh, no, she was only like in her 20s when
she was 39.
Okay.
And like all these photos, back in the day, like today, 40 is the new 20.
Sure.
Nobody looks their age anymore. And when I was watching, I felt so bad. I'm like, girl, I thought you were 55.
If you look back at like the sitcoms from the 80s or the 90s, they had people in their 40s portraying old people,
Yes.
like in their 60s and stuff like that. Just because they had grayed early or started losing their hair, they immediately became the senior citizens on the show, and they were only in their 40s.
I know. I was scrolling during break and someone had posted all of your favorite Christmas movie characters and their actual age, and like Beverly D'Angelo, who played Ellen.
Yeah, I love the Griswold stuff.
Ellen Griswold. She was 39.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, she was a year younger than me. That is crazy. It does not feel that way. In my brain, I'm as immature as I was early 20s. So if you want to submit a photo, I need to see if I can get this back because I could not believe I was so far off with
It gets
Amelia.
worse for me during the baseball and the football season when I'm coaching, because I'm coaching like high school athletes.
Yeah.
And I feel like when I'm on the field or around them that I'm that age and I could keep up, clearly knowing I can't. Like I'm outmanned because they're testosterone pumping 18-year-old boys.
Yeah.
I can't keep up with that, but in my head, I can't. And
But you try, and then you come in here the next day and you're like,
and when I'm in the gym, I'm for sure like 19.
Yeah.
Like I haven't quite hit that spot where I hurt myself bad enough yet to go, hey, act your age, dummy. But yeah, if you want to take a quick selfie and then text it to us, and I promise we'll be nice about this.
and I'm going to say, Heidi, I think you are 41. Heidi's 41.
She get the first one in?
She got the first one in.
Okay.
Oh, here they come. All right.
All right. Yeah. All you got to do is text us a quick picture.
Let me know if I'm right. 41, text back.
Heidi, I would say Heidi's 38.
38?
I'm going to go
Okay.
38 for Heidi.
All right.
Text us a quick one. We'd love to kind of start the morning by judging the hell out of you. What's the last thing you left in an Uber or a Lyft?
The only time we ever Uber or Lyft is when we're on vacation. And Liam, I bought him a brand new sweatshirt and it was gone. He
Never got
left
it back?
in there. Yes, we got it was too long into like after us leaving the Uber, and I was like, well, it's gone forever, bud. It was what he wanted too. It was like $50.
Is that
I
a
never
finder's
spend that
keeper
much.
thing, by the way? Like, are you supposed to try to get a hold? Like, I know it's a good thing, but is it legally like binding that if somebody leaves something behind, it's finders keepers?
I think that's the small print that you have to read when you order an Uber. It's not their responsibility.
So I found this thread about the most unique items left in an Uber. By the way, phone is number one, vape is number two, right?
Yeah.
Those are the most.
And people that lose their vapes go out of control.
Yeah, they start nicking out.
Where are they?
These are the more unique things that were left in an Uber or a Lyft last year. Cornish hens.
Okay.
You got out and forgot your birds? They weren't making any
No, I'm
noise
sure
or
it was
anything?
food.
No,
Cornish-
these were live Cornish hens
Oh, okay.
that were
so
left
now I need an
behind.
explanation.
Maybe this is one of the, maybe like you're in a van,
Yeah.
you know, maybe you get in with like 6 or 7 other drunk buddies and you got some Cornish hens and you just forget them in the back. I'm trying to
Those
rationalize
nights
these.
are never ending.
I can't remember the last time I was in an Uber and I left behind my little cactus.
Yeah. Natasha, I would love for you to call because that would be a big deal if that were left behind.
Plunger made the list. You're doing a lot of plumbing jobs on the side. How about a unicycle was left behind in an Uber?
Okay.
Maybe you get tired. Are
If
those
you have
tiring?
a unicycle, why are you taking an Uber?
Well, it's like when people put their bike on the front of the bus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm always like, you could have just kept going, man. How much further do you have to go?
That might be Natasha.
It is Natasha. Hang on a second. I got to run through the 15 hookahs were left in the back of an Uber last year.
Okay.
15 of them. Billy said, my turtle.
Mm-hmm.
You left your turtle.
I would say if it's of value, you probably just connect with them through the app and just say, I will come get it.
Breast milk.
Okay. That's valuable.
Easily forgettable. Maybe you're bringing it along with you and you got the sealed containers and it falls out of your bag. Also, a chainsaw. You're just traveling with a chainsaw.
I
By
just
the
have
way,
so many questions.
you get in my Uber with a chainsaw.
You're not getting
Wait for the next one,
Yeah.
jerk. And my favorite, mannequin head with human hair.
it. Okay. Well,
Was
Buffalo
left.
Billy for me.
Natasha, what'd you leave in the Uber?
So my friend's cousin left her Louis Vuitton purse in an Uber. She was drunk. There was like 4 of them or 5 of them or something like that. And then they didn't realize until the next day. So it was probably like, knowing her, it was probably like afternoon before they realized that they had lost it.
They get it back?
Nope. There was no Yep, they said, nope, it's not in there.
Liar.
They tried calling, and it was just a smaller one, and she actually made the comment. She goes, "Oh, I'll just buy another one, I guess." And I'm like,
my God,
This
those
is why you
people.
got to put an air tag in everything, man. You got to find a way to sew an air tag into everything that's important to you.
But like in the back of your mind, could she have left it in the Uber? Or if somebody doesn't notice that long after, I feel like maybe they could have left it somewhere else.
Yeah, well, it was, from my understanding, they left it in the Uber, but who knows?
I suppose when you're drunk, you just really never know, right?
Yeah,
gotcha.
that's what I was like, wow, watch your stuff.
How much do you think that bag was worth?
A couple grand.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good old Louie.
oh, jeez.
Yeah.
I will forever be astonished at how much y'all spend on purses.
I know. I can't bring myself. I let other people spend that money on me, like my sister or my mom, but I just can't.
My wife, when she has a Coach purse, and like it's nice, but I'm like, when you bring that out, aren't you afraid you're going to leave it somewhere? She's like, no, because I love it too much.
I know. That's what I'm failing to understand, how it was gone for so long without somebody noticing.
Rough one. Hey, thanks for checking in, Natasha. Happy New Year. Did you see the big announcement from our HR while we were gone on the holidays?
How do you feel about it?
Listen,
it?
I usually am a watch your bobber kind of guy, but I celebrated my 20th anniversary here a month ago. And instantly got an extra week of vacation, only to wake up on the holiday break finding out
we have
that
unlimited
if
vacation.
anybody has been here 3 months, they now get as much vacation time as I do.
Yeah, that's
I usually don't do this, but
you felt a certain way.
I was just like, you're kidding me, right? You are kidding me.
I did think like, well, we've had, some people that have already been living that life, but I don't see myself ever taking advantage of that.
Oh.
We're in a prime situation. We're on the air. I don't want to be away from the radio, so please say that you are.
I don't know if I necessarily agree with you on that. No,
we'll have to have a sit down with them.
But it's really, really weird. If your company has gone to an unlimited PTO kind of thing, like basically the criteria is as long as your work is done and it's covered, which is great for a lot of people. Now, I mean, think about this. If you didn't have to be here for 4 hours every morning, you could probably get your job done by Wednesday and then take Thursday, Friday off, right?
If you have something like this in your world right now, as where you work, you have unlimited days off. How is that going? Like, what are some hiccups that we can expect?
I think it's this whole work-life balance culture thing that got to them. And I think it's good for recruiting. I think a lot of people want to work at a business where, you can have that kind of time off. For us, it's a little bit weird because we're in ratings period, half the year, basically. And so we really don't take any vacation time off while we're in ratings period. But it was just, I read that and I was like, you're kidding me. I just celebrate.
It came through. I didn't even open it because I saw the subject and I'm like, I don't know, mentally, I don't know if I'm there to read it until just a couple of days ago.
Well, it'll be a far cry from seeing me here one day this summer.
Yeah.
That'll be it. Tuesday morning, lots and lots of cash up for grabs, including another crack at figuring out how much is in Kat's Cash Cube. You never know when we're going to tell you to call in and win. So the best thing you can do right now is text CUBE, C-U-B-E, to 320-251-1047. Look at the cube, figure out how much is in there, and you can win it all Tuesday morning during our live show as we wrap up the podcast. Now.
So I went out for coffee with my friend Lynn, and I videotaped the experience because I wanted to see how many other people do this where they think they're making their lives easier. So this is me just watching her order her Starbucks. Okay.
You're at Starbucks?
She's we're on the other side of the wall of where you can just go and pay. 15 to almost 20 minutes she sat there. She goes, oh, it didn't remember my card. So she had to take her card out of her wallet and put it back into the app. And I was
Instead of just going to the counter.
Yes. I said, can you get on with life?
Was there a long line?
There was nobody there. We were the only people there. There was one guy doing business up front by the fireplace. I'm like, this is outrageous. And I do know a lot of people that rely on DoorDash because they don't want to leave the house. They rely on getting their groceries delivered to their house. You guys used to do that all the time.
It was when COVID was, a thing. But I live in the middle of nowhere now, so we don't get deliveries on a lot of stuff. But our neighbor, we can still get like Target to deliver stuff. And our neighbor was telling us over the holiday break that she's like, is it taking them extra long to get Target stuff? I go, no. You don't understand. Here's how Target works in my house now. My wife will get a big Target order together, and she'll schedule it for pickup.
Yeah.
And then when she sees me leaving work on Life 360, she'll go, hey, can you stop by Target real
where
quick?
you have to.
And I'll go, sure.
Yeah.
And then she'll go, all right, so call me when you get to a parking spot. So you drive there, you hit the parking spot. I call her. I get a text back. I'm in a meeting. Yeah. Okay. So I'm sitting there in the 6th slot at Target waiting because I have to get a number or a confirmation, something. And she has to tell Target. And then she'll text me back 5 minutes later. What stall are you in?
Wow.
I'm like, all right, I'm in 6. So then 5 minutes later, she'll send me a code. So at this point, it's like a half hour. If she would have just given me the list, I would have been in and out of Target in a heartbeat. So then you wait for somebody, and then they come by, and then they're pushing the cart, and they're, where would you like it? I'm like, can I just take this stuff out of here for you?
I know.
So it really ends up taking me longer, but it's convenient for her because she gets everything she wants.
Melissa just texted, I haven't grocery shopped in 6 years. So whether it's saving you time, if I had to only buy things that were like boxed and stuff like that, then sure, that's fine.
You like to look
milk
at your
and
fruit?
eggs. I have to. I got to do the feel. Like I get avocados. I can't trust a 19-year-old pimply-faced college kid to get the right avocado for me.
The only problem I've ever had with this is when they substitute stuff for you. Like my wife will always leave that little box checked. Feel free to substitute something.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, oh, you didn't get the right tortilla wraps. She's like, I put the right ones down. It was somebody else. And I'm like, So
I know.
That's why I do prefer going in myself. Even if I don't really want to be super social, I'll just pop an AirPod in.
Yeah.
And then I'm super hyper focused. But going to Starbucks, being in the building, and then sitting on your phone ordering, because you get the same rewards. Even if it's a rewards thing, you get the same rewards if you just go up to the counter and punch in your telephone number, right?
Yes.
So
and that's what she said. She goes, I get the rewards. And then she also said she does the app when she goes through the drive-through too. I said, but it only takes me 3 minutes from when I order to get my coffee.
My daughter's done this where I'm like, oh, do you want to stop by Starbucks or wherever? And she'll be like, yep, hold on. What do you want? And she'll start punching it in. And it's easier if it's already paid for and you get to the window and you say, hey, order for Reagan. And she, yeah, go ahead, pull ahead. But like, I can't imagine walking into a business and then standing there trying to get the app right while you're right in front of the counter.
It was outrageous. So I gave her a New Year's resolution to work on. You know how I like to dole those out.
What's the biggest part of your life that you're lazy about?
That I'm lazy about? I would say, I don't know, maybe getting gas. Like I don't get it on time. I normally during the winter try to stay above the middle, but there are so many days when I'm like, I'm a Minnesotan. I should be able to get out and pump my gas when it's this cold, but I just don't.
My family got real lazy over the holidays. We have, all the kids were home, and so there's cars all over in our driveway and on our property, but the second stall in our detached garage is always for my son. My wife has to plug in her car so she gets a spot. I never get to park in a garage or a shed anymore. But my son had his car in the driveway for whatever reason, and my wife took that as an opportunity to start storing all the garbage that our home had accumulated, big boxes and stuff like that over the holidays, And so we have a stall in our garage because our garbage can was full. It just went out this morning. We have a stall in our garage that is full of garbage. We look like those people now. If you open that garage door, there's just garbage stacked in our garage. And I'm like, so part of me, I want to do a little social experiment and say, if I don't go out there with a box cutter and hack all this stuff up, how long do you think that garbage would stay in my garage?
I think forever.
I think until it got hot this summer and it started really stanking. The other problem is...
Or they'll let you know, hey, it's really smelly.
We have raccoons. We've got tons of mice. We've got feral cats in our neighborhood. They're all going to get in there when somebody opens the garage door and go to town. And when they're stuck in there, what are they going to do besides toss all the garbage everywhere? So that's how lazy I am. What makes you really lazy? If you had to pinpoint one thing that would define you as lazy, what would it be? Appreciate you rolling with us. I'm JJ Katz here as well. Interesting text we just got.
We do love when you ask for advice because we are not professionals, but there could be someone out there that might have better advice for you. Angelina had just shot us a text. Happy New Year. Glad you guys are back. She said, if you had a coworker that was homeless, what would you do? Asking for a friend. So Angelina, obviously you're asking for yourself. You have a coworker that does not have a home. You see them struggling. What would you do? Would you try to give them advice as to where to go to get out of that situation? Would you, because they're an adult, let them work it out on their own? I don't know. This is a tough one. I've been in this situation. We're in radio. It's very hard for you to live a life and pay rent when you're just starting off. So we have had, a lot of part-timers that are just like kind of not knowing.
Well, a lot of times you move to another city where you don't know anything or anybody to take that radio gig, and you live pretty humbly for a while. But if I found out a coworker was homeless,
like sleeping in their car, what would your next move be? Would you go to them? Would you go to a superior?
That's a really good question.
Angeline, I don't know. I definitely would not tell other coworkers, too many other coworkers. Maybe confide in ones that can give you constructive criticism, or like maybe ways to make the situation better. We don't need like gossip.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Part of me is, it's never going to be a proud moment, so you don't want them to think everybody knows.
Yes.
Right?
Like, that can't feel good.
I want to make sure and, kind of keep that confidentiality. Do me a favor. If you, I would be interested to know if anybody has been in this situation where either you had a coworker that was homeless, what was the move? Better yet, if you were without a home for a while and you've been in this situation, what would you want your coworkers to do?
That's the life people are living right now. Like, people have full-time jobs and are facing eviction because rent is too high, because you either have to pay for premiums for your new health plan, groceries, daycare, everything that goes along with kids. And then, so many people are hard like that.
Do me a favor, call us real quick, will you? Most of the texts that we're getting this morning, revolving around this text that we got about what would you do if you thought a coworker was homeless, a lot of people are saying is you need to push this up the ladder at work, and somebody needs to make an executive decision a little bit higher than you. I get it. Like, there's so many teetering spots here, right? You don't want to make somebody feel uncomfortable. They're already in a tough spot.
Yeah.
And you don't want to make them feel like everybody knows.
But there are a lot of companies like ours that want you to be okay in life. And if you don't get what you don't ask for. So if you go to management and say, can you float me enough for rent for 3 months?
Yeah.
And you can do as much as you can, get another job, save as much as you can. And then they can just start slowly taking it back out of your check as long as you work there.
We've had a lot of people that I've hired over the years that had either moving expenses or, you got to get first and last month's rent, something like that, where they've gone to, people in payroll and been like, hey, any way that I can get an advance? And then you can just kind of start pulling out of my checks. Because it's one of those things that if you pull it out of your check, usually you don't necessarily miss it as much as having to cut someone a check or give them cash. If you never get it, you don't miss it as much.
And
so
work
I like that
looks
look.
at it as a commitment from you because you're going to be there until you pay your debt off. If not, they're going to charge you anyway. So, Angeline, let us know how that situation turns out. That is not ideal to know that someone you're working with is hard up like
this
that.
One's tricky. We appreciate all the advice. Thanks, guys. Can you please tell me something good?
Yes, we're going to kick it off with this story of a family that was looking for an heirloom wedding ring. This woman had lost it. One of the hospital workers in Iowa had accidentally thrown it away. Ooh. And then they were like, listen, we have access to these x-ray machines. Let's go x-ray the trash.
It only took us 35 images, about 45 minutes worth of imaging to come up with striking gold, I guess you could say. And so that was really rewarding.
I can't think of enough. And then when he told me what had all happened and how many people I'd helped, this is the best place for care.
Oh, and they should have got her a glass of water.
They should have. I could hear it. Sticky spit.
Tell me something good. But you can't tell me something good this morning.
I got everything that I didn't know I wanted for Christmas. So it was good. I didn't have anything that I'm going to re-gift. I didn't have anything where I was like, no, what am I going to do with this? I got one of those like neck warmers that you heat up in the microwave.
Yeah.
I'm like too easy to please these days. I got a lot of face masks. I got a coffee mug, tea, just all that good stuff. Things that will just add to the Zen start to 2026. And that is what's good.
Tell me something good. for me, just being able to turn the calendar and look forward to this year, there's so much to look forward to, especially with my family. My son's getting married in July.
Yes.
My daughter will graduate college and head to grad school, in the spring and in the summer and the fall. And then my youngest son will graduate high school and be off to college this year. So for me, there's just so much good. But overall, I was looking back and, you kind of count your blessings when you hit New Year's Day. But my wife is like going on 5 years cancer free. So for me, that was easily the best news. So we want to know from you, can you tell me something